Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Martin Dreyfus Show. Welcome back to our continued coverage of the Russia and Ukraine crisis. As we've been highlighting for a few weeks now, these attacks have looked awfully Nazi-ish. And why I've said that is because it doesn't seem like they're actually taking any land. It doesn't seem like they've advanced at all. It seems like they've kind of just, for lack of better terms, bombed the piss out of some cities and left. And now they're going to go do it in eastern Ukraine. And now those talks are kind of being brought to mainstream media as the Mariupol mayor compared his city to the new Auschwitz. And there's a video we're about to watch on if they've crossed the line of genocide. So as we get into these videos, I'm going to be very open and seeing, is this genuine? Is this clickbait? And is it going to further reinforce my current stance on this? So let's go ahead and see.
Genocide refers to the intent, and I stress that word intent, to destroy in whole or in part a national, racial, ethnic, or religious group as such because of who they are.
That would be the definition of genocide. They didn't clearly say that, but that was the definition of genocide.
Genocide is distinguished from crimes against humanity by that intent. So it's not just committing acts that are widespread against civilians, but in fact intending to destroy them because of who they are.
He is a war criminal, but we have to gather the information. We have to continue to provide Ukraine with the weapons they need to continue the fight, and we have to gather all the detail so this can be have a war crime trial.
War crimes involve violations of the Geneva Conventions, but in particular, you can just think about it as acts committed against non-combatants and combatants. So if you torture prisoners of war, that's a war crime. If you bomb a hospital, as has taken place in Ukraine, that's a war crime.
Absolutely.
In one sense,
I didn't know Zelensky's actually gone out and looked at this, and that's Bucha, Ukraine. We haven't had a chance to detail that yet together. We've seen torn down streets like this, so we're going to have to do more in-depth research into that because the amount of news on it is pretty intense.
there are no consequences, tragically, perhaps, when one country accuses another country of genocide. There are a number of different actions that can be taken by individual states or by geopolitical actors, diplomacy, legal, diplomatic, and military, in response to a determination of genocide or atrocity crimes or even a crime of aggression, as we see has taken place in Ukraine. We have human rights organizations like Human Rights Watch, which are on the ground gathering evidence. We have actors in Ukraine, government actors, who are gathering evidence for a possible trial down the road.
For a term not exceeding 30 years. Man, we give people life in America for one murder. If you commit first-degree murder in the state of Colorado, it's a life sentence. Oh, my head's gonna explode.
Law moves very slowly. Nothing's going to happen in the short term. This could be going on for a dozen years or more.
A dozen years or more? We just saw another Nazi war crime trial happen. The guy was like 90-something years old. It's been literally 70-plus years since this happened. And he was put on trial. This isn't... The war is the beginning. It's the preamble of whatever the consequences are. The consequences of the war are initially, of course, the death and destruction, but that's just the beginning. It's more than a dozen years, I promise. Especially if you think you're getting to Vladimir Putin anytime soon. Like, come on, man. Since they didn't really outline too much on genocide, sorry, I gotta find the right video here. There it is. We're also gonna talk about why they're bringing these claims against Russia, because the step from an invasion and war crimes all the way to genocide is very, very drastic. And to call something a new Auschwitz, you can't just say that. It's not taken lightly. So we're also going to get into this video of the Mariupol mayor talking about maybe the new Auschwitz.
Good evening once again. I'm Stephanie Rule. Russia's unprovoked invasion of Ukraine is now entering day 43. Officials there warn that Moscow appears to be escalating attacks in eastern Ukraine as strikes on the port city of Mariupol continue. The mayor there says over 5,000 civilians have been killed, including at least 210 children. More than 100,000 residents are still trapped there, and the Red Cross now suspending ongoing efforts to even try to enter the city. A senior U.S.
And the Red Cross is the worst. We give all this money to the Red Cross. What happens during Katrina? They don't get water. What happens here? We're not even gonna try. It's too dangerous. It's not like it's our job or anything.
That's defense official says there are no Russian forces around Kyiv, but warns that the city is still under threat. Meanwhile, we are learning more about Russia's brutal massacre just outside Kyiv. NBC's Richard Engel is in Ukraine with the latest. And again, we warn you, the images you are about to see
are disturbing. Right. So the lady on the train in the video we watched earlier of the people leaving eastern Ukraine live, essentially, pretty much highlighted. They went door to door and murdered and raped and killed. Like, literally the main comparison that comes to my mind is like conquistadors and Americans and what we did to the Native Americans and the Mayans and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that was just go through, murder, rape, kill, and that's it. Just keep rinse, wash, repeat, right? And this is live. This is 21st century war. This is war in the media. There's no censorship really anymore. So, of course, it's disturbing. It's not hidden.
They are disturbing.
Their destroyed tanks are all that remains of Russia's occupation of the town of Borodyanka outside Kyiv. And the holes in the skyline. Yawning gaps in rows of apartment buildings. Today,
that still blows my mind, man. That's the whole middle of an entire building. And the rest of it's up, and the rest of it...
Ukrainian rescue workers weren't digging for survivors here. They were trying to recover bodies. Local officials believe hundreds of civilians, many of them women and children, were hiding in shelters beneath these buildings, entombed under the remains of their homes. Residents today came back to salvage, mostly memories. Photos. Little else can be saved. In nearby Bucha, Russian troops killed civilians. Little else can be saved. You're
not skipping over that one, man. We said we've seen a lot of street alleys, but nothing's even recognizable right there, man. I don't even...
Nearby Bucha, Russian troops killed civilians up close, shooting people in the head. In Borodyanka,
That's brutal. That's like execution style. Like, you know, bring everyone to town square and like in France, you know, pull the string so that nothing comes down, you know, firing squad, stoning, whatever you want to draw a comparison to. public execution is a very disturbing thing.
Were killed by airstrikes, but as many or perhaps more civilians died here. Deliberately attacking civilians is a war crime, unless Russia can somehow prove these were military targets.
President Zelensky accusing Russia of now trying to hide evidence of potential war crimes, as Russia claims that what happened in Bucha, what you just saw on your screen, Russia's claiming it was faked. The U.S. responded today with new sanctions aimed at punishing Moscow, including banning new investment in Russia. Putin's 2 adult daughters were also sanctioned, along with other Russian elites. President Biden...
We're going to get into that soon. I don't really... I don't know how okay that is. I'm gonna need the reasoning behind that. I need to know why this is the new Auschwitz. I guess because of the amount of civilian executions, which, if that's the reasoning, I don't like it. There's so many other comparisons you can draw that are more accurate. Auschwitz was the biggest concentration camp in which, as we all know, brought hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of Jews to be starved to death as slave labor before being gassed. As awful as execution is, especially public bullet to the head execution, it's not the same thing. It's very different. Neither is okay, neither is stomachable, neither is justifiable, but they are not the same. A better comparison, if that is the reasoning, is 100% the Americans killing the Native Americans, the British in North Africa and Africa. There's better comparisons, but I think that one's inappropriate.
Biden leaving no doubt about where his administration stands.
There's nothing less happening than major war crimes. We're going to keep raising the economic cost and ratchet up the pain for Putin and further increase Russia's economic isolation. Steps we've already taken are predicted to shrink Russia's gross domestic product by double digits this year alone. Just in 1 year, our sanctions are likely to wipe out the last 15 years of Russia's economic gains.
Yeah, it's going to screw them forever. I get it. But while you're celebrating destroying Russia's economy, what have you done military-wise? I hate to say it, man. I don't believe we should step in. I've been on record time and time again saying it. You are not a hero. None of these people are heroes for what they're doing. The real heroes here are random European people and random Americans and random strangers going to Ukraine to fight and help. You're not a hero for buying local oil. Just not.
It comes as the Justice Department stopped a cyber attack by Russia and charged a Russian oligarch with violating sanctions.
It does not matter how far you sail your yacht. It does not matter how well you conceal your assets. It does not matter how cleverly you write your malware or hide your online activity. The Justice Department will use every available tool to find you
The attorney
and hunt you down. Don't mess with the Department of Justice, because we got the yacht.
General also says U.S. prosecutors are working with investigators to gather evidence of Russian atrocities across Ukraine. Secretary of State Blinken told our own colleague, Andrea Mitchell, that the U.S. is committed to finding those responsible.
The wheels of accountability can move slowly, but they move. And someday, some way, somewhere, those who committed these crimes and those who ordered the crimes will be held accountable.
Honest. Who the hell knows when?
But it takes time, and part of this is building the case. Part of this is which we're doing, and others are doing.
part of this is finding who the hell actually did it, because you can't just charge any random soldier with it. It's got to be the specific soldiers in the whole military. Like, man, it's... And not only that, in that whole video, at no point did I see the Mariupol mayor call anything the new Auschwitz. So, this is who we are. Who are you? MSNBC. We write headlines that aren't even, like, in the ballpark of relevant. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you made it this far, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, comment a reaction, ask a question, maybe start a conversation with me. I love talking to you guys, man. It makes me real happy. Brings a lot of warmth to my heart. Also, if you like the video, hit the like button, man. You know, I get like 3 or 4 likes a video. So when you do it, you're very special in my heart. You're not just another one of 100,000 people, or even 795 for one of the biggest news networks in the country. But you're one of a handful to me, and it means a lot. So like, subscribe, comment. See you in the next one. Peace out.